this is what it's actually like, this podcast. It's like we don't always sort of like go around jets and things. We tend to just sit in the pub having a beer.
We were just talking about the fact that for anybody who's seen the 40th podcast, and that's the first one, and there are a lot of you, by the way. Yeah.
Bit nervous now. Like, what are you all doing here? Thank you. Welcome to Wheels and Wings podcast episode 41. We did a podcast the other week, and it did really well. And I feel like there's a lot of subscribers that have joined up. We were talking about getting to 2,801 the other day, and like a week ago, and we're now on over 3,000.
Yeah.
Which is pretty exciting. And a lot of you, I think, may not have come from the usual sources, the Tasty Classics side. I think some of you have just come because you've seen like the jet and stuff.
Yeah, I like that.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
You know, it's always
you do have value. I've always said that.
Because it's always been wheels and wings, but it's wheels leaning, hasn't it? And
No.
I think you'll find it has.
No.
No, but it does prove that you know, we've got a very balanced audience.
All right, mate. It's only had 10,000 views. All right.
Yeah. Tasty Classics.
Yeah.
100,000 subscribers.
Millions of views. So
Millions
let's
of
just, you know, let's
reel it in.
Yeah. Keep your feet firmly planted on the ground.
Yeah, I know. You're right. But did enjoy doing that at Canavan.
It was incredible. Absolutely incredible. And the big news is at the end, this is only going to be like an hour or so for this bit, because at the end of this video, stick around, because we've got the tour of the museum. So after we did the jet, we then walked into the museum and we just took a load of filmings of inside the museum, and we talked about big shoes and stuff.
Yeah, it was quite good fun, actually.
It was a nice place, Canavan Aircraft Museum.
Yeah. And that is where the Hawk is going to end up, isn't it?
So they're building an extension.
Yeah.
And they're gonna put all that in there. So it's going to look really good. And they do need to build an extension because there's an awful lot of stuff in there. It's hard to see it all, as Dave said.
Dave was right.
Yeah. He goes, there's more in there than you think.
Yeah, and there was.
There was.
Yeah.
There's a lot more in there than we think.
And they're also on about potentially getting a Jaguar as well, which would be really cool.
Oh, what, like a XKR or something? Or?
No. An RAF fighter Jaguar.
Wow.
Yeah. So that'd be quite cool.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, really cool. Incidentally, same engine as the Hawk.
Oh, nice.
Only two of them with afterburner, so slightly different.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I really want to do the Puma.
Yeah, that would be great. I've
I'd
been
love to do
thinking
a
about that
helicopter.
this week because
Do they still use those?
no, they retired literally April, I think, or March
This year?
This year.
So there's got to be one in a hangar you can get your hands on
Honestly,
somewhere, aren't there?
I will do
That'll
some
still
digging.
be like fairly complete.
That would be so cool.
Nobody's nicked anything off of.
Yeah. No, that was really cool.
It'd be nice to see that, I think. I'd love to. Helicopters are cool as well. I mean, jets are cool, but helicopters are fun. So I'd like to sort of, you know, have a bit of it. Why is this table so close?
Sorry?
It's like...
And the Puma in particular is really cool. It's a lovely medium lift, military helicopter. So really cool.
Nice.
Loads of comments. Well, hundreds of comments.
If let's just, you know, we'll catch up with a week, and then I think we should go on to the comments really, and we'll just sort of do a few questions, because there's been a lot of questions, mainly for you.
Well, that was a bit of a selfish podcast, though. It was very much
Not at
about
all, no.
me and my experience with that airplane. And
It was-
those airplanes.
It was very selfish for me, because I was just got to play with the Hawk. I didn't give a shit about anything you were saying.
Yeah.
I was just like, what's this button do?
Yeah, that came across.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It was one of the best times of my life, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Just playing with the bomb button.
Yeah, you like that bit.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. Nobody gets to do that, though.
No, that's true.
In the world, like, there's probably
the
millions of
world.
people that would love to sit in a jet. Millions of people would love to sit in a jet.
Yeah.
So having the opportunity to do that was pretty sick, man.
Yeah. I was very aware of that. And I always used to say to the students and the young guys who were at Valley, when you get down to, because you taxi down, and if we were on the runway that was, you were taking off at the Rossniger end of Valley, in the summer, when you taxi down there and you're holding, waiting for air traffic so you can line up and take off, there'd be like loads of people along the fence from, because there's lots of holiday homes, lots of holiday caravans,
course.
and they'd come down and watch.
Sort of plane switches.
Yeah, but like me, but a lot of, just people who've come for the first time to see it right up close.
Nice, that's cool.
And I
isn't
really always made a point of like waving and dropping my oxygen mask and waving. I thought it was really important. It's taxpayers' money, isn't it? And it's like,
it is.
We're really lucky to be able to do this. And I used to say to the guys, if you have any capacity at all, like if you're not maxed out, thinking about what you're going to do next, just make sure you wave, because it's just, it was a very privileged position to be in.
That's so cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's very, very awesome. Apart from all that, though, before we get stuck into it, a good week? It's not even been a week, has it?
No, it's
what
only
day did
Wednesday.
we do it? Friday?
Saturday it went out, and last
Yeah.
Wednesday... Oh, a week today.
Week today.
No, Thursday. A week tomorrow.
Yeah.
We did it.
Anything interesting happened?
No, nothing.
Yeah,
Anything for you? Have you got that BMW sorted out? Sorry, that I didn't mean to do a micro laugh then. It's just that it's been the bane of your life.
Well, so on the Tasty Classics, there's a video going out on that BMW on Friday at 6 o'clock. Trying to get back into weekly videos as well, which is fun. People will be happy to hear.
What do you mean by that exactly, weekly videos?
Just because, I need to get out of my head that every video has to be this epic adventure of like doing things and stuff. There needs to be some of those, but also it's just like that Beamer one's an hour and a half long. It took me 7 days to do. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a great video. The car's still fucked, but it's a great video.
Yeah.
So it's not like at the end we float off into the sunset and all that sort of stuff. There's none of that. It's just like a big thing of this car's fucked, let's fix it. Things going wrong, fixing those. More things going wrong, fixing those. So it's really, really interesting. Anyway, so I need to get into my head more of the like people. As long as it's fun and interesting to watch, it doesn't need to be this big epic adventure. Even though I still want to do a couple of those.
What do you mean, like epic adventure? I think you've said before, like, so you drag something out of a hedge, hasn't been used for 30 years, work on it, get it running, and the end result is it passes an MOT or doesn't need one if it's over 40 years old, and it runs and everybody's, hooray. It's like that logical progression. It doesn't have to be that, you mean?
Yeah, because that's so expensive to do to start with. Can't really afford to do that every week, and there's no time to do it every week. Finding the car like every week, and like with the BMW, I've been working on it for 2 months. Sometimes cars don't come to life straight away.
Yeah,
but like I always try and make a video have a nice ending and stuff, like the Proton video that I'm doing at the moment. So that's all good. But
could set it on fire.
Yeah, well, I nearly did several. So I've been welding it for 4 days.
Oh,
so I've just finished today. And annoyingly, I think, if you see me blinking and doing this with my eyes, I think I've got a bit of archive. Just a little bit. Oh. I've been hospitalised with archive before, so I'm always dead keen on it.
Isn't it really painful?
Horrendous. Yeah, one of the worst experiences of my life, being put into the back of an ambulance thinking I was blind.
Yeah, not good.
Not being able to see, everything being black, and just having searing pain in my eyes.
Were you just welding without a mask or something?
So I was doing a boot floor in a Land Rover Discovery, and prone to going boot floors. So cut the old one out and put a whole new panel in.
Yeah.
But it means you've got to do a seam weld all the way around the boot floor, and it's a very lengthy process. It's just quite long. And just before I started, I dropped my welding mask.
Yeah.
My big proper welding mask. I dropped it on the floor, and the screen cracked, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And I needed to do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I rang up Advanced Auto Parts, whatever, and I said, "Can you send me a new mask?" And they're like, "Well, we haven't got any proper ones, but we've got a handheld one that'll do." And I was like, "Oh, right, okay, I'll do that." So I had to do this handheld one. And the thing with the handheld ones is they're shit, and they're not meant to do a full day of boot floor welding.
Right. Okay.
And it's just not strong enough. And I did that, and I remember getting home and just my eyes were stinging. I was just like, it's so much pain. I don't know why. It's like, but the guy at the hospital was like, "You've sunburnt your eyes. That's what it is."
Oh my god.
And I just and then it got to, I had to go to bed early, and I woke up bolt upright at 2 o'clock in the morning, just people just stabbing my eyes, like it was horrendous. And then trying to get in the shower and put cold water on, and then vision totally went. And I was just screaming at my girlfriend of the time, just going, something's happened, call an ambulance, call an ambulance. But the maddest thing was the ambulance came, put me into the back of it, they had to walk me down the stairs, put me into the back of it, and he opened my eyes and put these drops in.
Yeah.
Came back like that.
What were the drops?
Just some like anesthetic, when it like, so you can't feel anything.
Okay.
So
just numbed it.
Just completely numbed them, and I was like, "Oh, please, that's the best thing ever." And I had this like weird blurred vision, but I could see, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is incredible! Thank you so much." And then he was like, "But we've got to go to the hospital," and I was like, "Okay, that's fine, that's all right, no worries. Let's just go get it checked out and stuff." Sat in the hospital, and I was like so happy. I was like, "It's amazing! It doesn't hurt anymore."
Grinning in A&E.
Yeah, and then the paramedic comes in just before he sort of disappeared and left me with the hospital people, and he goes, "Right, so do you want the bad news?" And I was fucking like, "Oh god, what's going to happen?" He says, "Well, that stuff that I put in your eye is going to wear off in like half an hour to an hour, and we can't give you any more."
What?
And I was like, "Right. So what's going to happen is we're going to give you a load of painkillers, but we can't put that stuff in your eyes anymore." And I was like, "Why not? Why can't you just keep doing that until they're better?" And he goes, "Because you haven't blinked."
Come on, mate. You know I'm good for it.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I'll pay for it. Just do as one of them. But he said you haven't blinked since we put them in.
Oh, right.
And he says your eyes will.
I have.
Yeah. Because you only blink because you need to blink. If you can't feel it, you don't blink. It's the weirdest thing. The weirdest. If you can't feel your eyes at all, you just blinking's gone.
Weird.
The weirdest thing. And he says your eyes will get really badly damaged, so you have to.
And don't go on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
With your eyes open all the time.
Because you get flies in them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was really fucking shit.
Yeah.
And I remember it sort of slowly coming back and just sort of sitting there and going, "Oh fuck!" But then he gave us loads of painkillers, and it went away in like 2 days.
Oh, well, absolutely fine. You didn't.
Absolutely
so you didn't
fine.
need any specific treatment for it. You just needed time for it to go away.
Yeah. But he said it's just like getting over sunburn essentially, but right in the whites of your eyes.
Not good.
But then so today, I fucked up massively, and so are you familiar with welding masks?
Yeah.
So on the side of your welding mask, you've got a dial, right?
Yeah.
And I'm working underneath this proton, and my head's in the wheel arch at some points. And I'm doing this, and I moved from one place to another, and I started welding this new patch in this wheel arch. So I'm like, bzzz, and it's a different colour. And I was like, that's dead weird. It was just bright green all of a sudden, and it was like really bright green. And it's sometimes if a gas hits what you're welding, it'll change colour and stuff. So I was like, oh, it's probably just something in the paint behind it or something, something like that. So I was just welding away. Bzzz, and I was like, this is so weird. I've never seen this before. It was just vivid, bright green. And I could see everything really well and all this sort of stuff. I thought it was bizarre. So I finished off that batch, went to move underneath. And it was just again, and then I felt my eyes hurt. And I was like, oh, fuck. Pulled my mask off. And on this dial, you can switch it to grinder.
Oh, shit.
So you've got your normal welding mask. And then it's just, if you turn it all the way, it just goes click. And it basically switches it off. And I just done a full patch, and I was doing the bit that I was doing underneath, just on grinder mode.
So would you know by now if you've got archive?
No, but I think I can feel it stinging. So I'll know probably
2 in the morning.
Yeah. Later on tonight, it'll manifest itself.
Oh, yeah,
so,
that's
but
not good.
It was only I was when I did the Land Rover thing, I was doing it for 8 hours.
Oh, right.
So I was only doing that for like an hour.
Yeah,
so
cool.
I don't think it's going to be too bad. But they do fucking sting, something awful. But yeah, just schoolboy error that. But now I've seen like the colour, I'll remember that for the future. But just at the time, I didn't even think.
Makes sense though. Going back and forth from welding to grinder to welding, it's very easy. It's a good idea, isn't it?
But I never ever use the grinder setting.
Yeah.
Because you just put safety glasses on? You don't want a big stupid helmet when you're grinding. So I never ever use that. You shouldn't have it.
Or not at all, because I don't know if I tell you. My stepfather had a garage. He was using a grinder without goggles.
Yeah.
And he got a piece of metal in his eye, and they had to take his eyeball out.
Fuck!
I know.
Did he get to keep it? Take it home with him?
No, but he had a glass eye for 40 years.
Shit.
And that was just from using a grinding wheel it was the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or the 80s.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like, but yeah.
I
so-
always try and wear my safety glasses now.
Yeah.
If
I used
if
to
my
be-
mum's watching.
Ben, you're not
It's like
wearing your safety glasses
streaming and
again.
stuff like that. You know, it's just. I remember when I lived in Rossniger and flying at Valley, and my neighbour coming around and saying, "You really need some goggles." So I'm streaming, David. You know,
Streaming's down there.
down there,
Eyes
mate,
up here.
in with flip flops. It's not clever. It's all very clever until it goes wrong. You do see people riding around. On motorbikes in like flip flops and shorts, and you're thinking, "Good luck with that if you come off."
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to hurt.
So in flying training in Texas, at the time, this was 86, it was the law you had to wear a bicycle helmet,
Yeah.
but you didn't have to on a motorbike.
Oh, shit. What, you didn't have to wear a helmet on a motorbike?
But you had to on a bicycle.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
isn't
work
it?
that one out. So the Italians...
Can you see us okay?
That must be horrible.
Oh, lovely.
The Italians who had loads of money, they'd arrive as a course, go down to the...
Italians?
Yeah,
Hey, I'm walking here.
No, the Italians, and they go into the Honda
That's
dealer,
like an American
and they
Italian.
go, "How much for the Honda 600?" And they,
Oh, it's the actual Italians, not
Yeah.
Americans.
No,
Oh, right, okay.
and it said, "Yeah, well, however much." It's how much for 5, and they get these amazing deals because they go to buy 5 brand new bikes. So then we'd go around, and I'd say, "What was his name?" Doesn't really matter. Mario, can me and my mate
Luigi, I don't want to fight for the bicycles.
he'd go around and say, "Can we borrow your bikes?" And they go, "Yeah, no problem," and just chuck you the keys. They didn't care.
Nice.
So me and a mate of mine called Mike Jansen used to cruise the strip on these like brand new Honda 600s.
Nice.
Yeah, but no helmets on or anything, no gloves, nothing, just jeans and a shirt, you know. But in the warm,
Yeah.
lovely warm night, in the Texas sort of Friday night,
Sorry, and it's
not clever.
very tempting though. I moved my bike when I first got it. I didn't have any of my gear with me, but I needed to move it from one end of the workshop to sort of outside a bit, and I just did it in my normal clothes. And then when I got outside, I was just like, I'm just going to go for a slow lap around the whole, workshop yard thing, and then come back without it on. And I could see how you'd enjoy, going down the strip without a helmet, because I'd love to.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Just in your normal clothes,
Yeah.
on your bike. It sounds
Flapping
amazing.
shirt.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah. Hey, PC world gone mad, eh?
Hey.
Hey. Bloody hell.
Yeah. I was telling you, wasn't I, about... did we put this in the... Oh, I did. I'm repeating myself. About the French exchange officer who picked up his girlfriend in front...
I don't think we put it in.
Didn't we?
No, you just told me this separately, so tell everybody.
So detachments were very normal, and I didn't go on this one, but the instructors took a load of Hawks to France, to the equivalent to Valley in the Army de
Is
l'Air.
that a detachment? What is
Yeah,
a detachment?
A detachment is like you take airplanes to another place. It's training. You get to work with other air forces. You get to deal with other air traffic control on the way over. That's really cool, actually, because you can, on your flight plan, you put like an airliner. I'm going from this point to that point to that point to that point, and then I'm going to then go into this airbase. On the way over, because you have a UK RAF Air call sign. So instead of your normal call sign, so it would be a Victor Yankee Tango call sign for Valley. So mine was Victor Yankee Tango 06. If you were going to another country, it was RAF Air something. And
That's pretty cool.
yeah, so RAF Air 205 or something.
Nice.
Would be a formation or a combine. So you'd be RAF Air 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever.
Okay.
3 normally. So they can see you're a military formation at high level. So air traffic control, and you can put on your flight plan, embellish. And embellish means you're happy for that nationality's fighter aeroplanes to use you as like a potential target.
Oh, nice. So if they know you're coming, they can say, "We've spotted 3, bogey planes.
High level.
Can you go up and go and find them?" So
Exactly
then they have to scramble the jets, go up and find you.
So they go through the whole
awesome.
process. So it's so cool because we're going down. It was I don't think it was that one with Joey, but so the embellished bit first. So you're flying along, and they tell you you're going to be intercepted by 2 Mirage 2000s.
So is that like, say, French air traffic has told you that they are coming?
Yeah, coming. So now you're just watching and you just see.
That's awesome.
It's so cool. And you see these like 2 French fighter jets, Mirage, it's like coming up at you. And then they break up. And then they
steam coming out the
and
bonnet
then they just come alongside and just go ooh and they just roll over and disappear.
That's amazing.
It is the coolest thing.
Wow.
It's really cool. Very cool. So they're going on one of these detachments. They went to France, and there was a French exchange officer. Doesn't matter about saying his name because it was in 1987.
Jean-Claude.
Jean-Claude. His name was Alain Amon.
Oh, nice.
And the classic thing was Alain Amon. Boop, boop, boop. Alain Amon. Boop, 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 boop. So, but he's a really, really nice guy. And one of his leaving presents from the staff was a French into German dictionary. Because they said, here's a French into German dictionary because you're never going to get the hang of English. So you might as well have a go at that. It's quite funny. And so they went on this detachment, and he said, "Bus, can I go and see my girlfriend?" And they went. It said, "Oh, mate, really?" He said, "Yes, no, it's fine." He said, "Can I go? Can I go? I've been there many times. When I was here." I said, "Okay, fine, you can go." So he disappears
in a plane,
in a Hawk.
His own.
On his own. Well, that's normal anyway. But basically, being a French Army de l'air, Air Force or Army of the Sky, Army of the Air, but French Air Force pilot, it's very normal for him to put in a quick thing with air traffic, France, and said, "I'm going from this base to this base."
So his girlfriend was close to another base.
Yeah.
So got you.
The boss thought he was going there, seeing her, and then coming back. So he goes. A couple of hours later, comes back. It's like, "Oh, it's Alain," and jumps. As he pulls in, to the dispersal, and shuts down, there's a woman in the back seat, in jeans and a t-shirt, with some normal sort of ear defenders on, no helmet or anything,
where you were sat in the Hawk?
Yeah, in the ejection seat, strapped into the ejection seat.
No way!
But the pins weren't out or anything like that, because he obviously thought, she doesn't know what she's doing with an ejection seat handle or anything like that. So not only was she sitting on an ejection seat, had something gone wrong, she couldn't have ejected anyway. So it's like...
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it's
she was treating it like a Boeing 747.
This was kept incredibly quiet for a long time, and then later, some years later, it's going, "Remember that French exchange guy?"
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So another story about him was, so one of the parts of the briefing before you go flying is if you basically say, if I say the words eject, you do not hesitate.
Yeah.
It's on the second word, you don't ask why, you don't whatever, you just go. You just grab the handle and you go. Because something's going on, and if the person in charge of that aeroplane, the captain of that aeroplane says eject, you go. And that's part of the briefing. If you're a passenger, whatever, that's part of the brief. And this guy called Ray was flying, and Alain was in the back seat. And said he was flying along low level, and he said, "Ray, eject." And he said he just paused because he said, "It's why?" He said, "Why?" He said, "Up there, Ray, eject.
Oh my God.
Mate, that was so close. But,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, cool though.
Imagine that, like you're doing 600 knots and you just go... Why did you do that?
He said eject. I did not.
Fuck. Yeah. For the person who ejected, you'd be pissed off as well. You'd be like, fuck, I'm really high up.
Yeah. Really high
And
up.
he's just gone.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Should we read some stuff out?
Good idea.
Right, okay. So, God, it's getting more questions and stuff as we're doing this podcast.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, people are crazy, aren't they? Someone's just said great stuff.
Honestly, the comments have been so lovely.
It's crazy, isn't it? And also, you know, there's must be nothing else on, surely.
Yeah, I think that too.
So, Mr. Dan Ailing. So I'm going to read some out from the other podcast as well. So from episode 39, when we were doing our blood pressures.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Dan Ailing says my blood pressure was okay until I watched this.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, so the first one is from Rob D 2184. Says nice walk around.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to hear more about Wynne's RAF career. He said he didn't instruct on the Hawk, so was he 100 Squadron or similar? What does any of that mean?
So I wasn't on 100 Squadron. I wasn't an instructor. I was purely a maintenance test pilot. So I was embedded with the engineers, and if the airplane had been worked on, it needs an air test. It can be a partial air test. So if you change the engine, you do an engine air test. Change an aileron or something like that, it needs an airframe air test, or you could have full air test. So if it's had a major servicing, so there's a servicing schedule for these things, like things are lifed or things are changed on condition. So if something's broken, like a hydraulic pump or something, you change that. But it needs, sometimes it can be done on the ground, but normally needs a flight test. An air test.
Okay.
And that was
So the stuff that's done on the ground, that's usually just engine running stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice, because you can boot it on the ground, can't you?
Yeah.
You said a while ago you can go full throttle even though you're not in the air and stuff.
They chain it down with chocks and everything, and you can do all that.
Nice.
And you've got what's called a detuner. So they back the jet pipe into this basically huge static exhaust thing on the ground that goes around the corner, and it muffles the sound a little bit, and also the jet blast goes around the corner and up.
Nice. Okay.
So they do that. But yeah, most of my career, because I started life as a naughty boy with no qualifications, went into the Air Force as a mechanic, which our friend Peter keeps...
He does, yes.
He doesn't deserve any airtime, but there's a guy who is absolutely convinced, for some reason, I was never a pilot.
Yeah.
Fair enough, whatever, mate.
So I did call him a prick, I think, in the last comment that he left. And then I blocked him.
Bless him. I don't know what is... Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I started as a mechanic with no qualifications, did my O-levels and A-levels in the RAF, and then became a technician. So I did 5 years of that, and then became a pilot. And then most of my career was either flying helicopter or as a maintenance test pilot, a unit test pilot. So I was a unit test pilot on the Puma at RF Benson for 7 years.
Wow.
And then I was 12 years on the Hawk at Valley. So
arguably one of the more sort of dangerous roles.
I think no, because you're not getting shot at.
I know, but
that.
we've discussed before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Like, imagine if some of the work that I do on cars.
Yeah.
Imagine they were like, if they said to me, right, okay, you now need to take this car out to test it, but you've got to go into the sky, really, really high.
I guess you can't roll into
you
can't roll into a lay-by.
You can't, and there's so many times that you go out in a car and it's still not fixed, and it breaks down again, and that happens so many times because you just can't tell sometimes. So you know, hats off to the engineers, because they're obviously confident enough to send you into the sky
That's
after
exactly what I was going to
replacing
say.
something, you know,
Those
or doing
guys
whatever.
were incredible, so good.
But you must have a lot of trust in them, because
Yeah,
you're
a
just
lot.
about to jump into... Because you told me a while ago about a plane that had been, like, half deconstructed, pulled to pieces, and then, like, the next time you saw it, it was back all together, and they were like, yeah, jump in that, take it up in the air.
Yeah, so in the RF it's called a hangar queen. So you get one that comes in for a major servicing, and for some reason they'll find a problem with it, and then the next one comes in and they go, do you know, and that needs, I don't know, an engine or something. They say, do you know what? We haven't got one yet. Take the engine out of that one and put in that one. It says, and then once that's started, it's like, well, you might as well, you know, use the ejection seats from that one, and it can end up sitting in the corner of the hangar, not always, but sometimes, until something. There might be something like a bird strike or something, so it needs some fabrication work done on it to get it serviceable again. And while they're waiting for that, if something else needs something, that they say,
They'll
"Oh, we'll
just
take that."
take it off that.
So
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I do it all the time with cars as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. So we're tested, and don't forget, it's like having a garage full of 60 Ford Fiestas. So you can take, like, do you know what? Take the wheels off that and put it on that. You know, get it going. And there have been some that have been on the ground for 3 years, you know, but these guys are so thorough, and there's loads of ground testing goes on, loads of ground running, but actually until you pull back on the stick and it sort of unsticks on the ground and you press the undercarriage and the undercarriage goes up, although they put them up on sticks, as they call them, jacks, in the hangar, and they cycle all that stuff. So
do they?
There's a very, very good chance it's all going to work peachy, and it normally does.
I didn't know they could test the landing gear on the ground.
Yeah.
That's cool,
So
isn't it?
there are jacking points, like one on the nose and there's two under the wings, and they will jack them up, even on massive aeroplanes. So when I go back to when I was a mechanic, I worked on Vulcan major servicing at RF St Athan, and they jack those up and operate the undercarriage. That's really impressive.
That's amazing. Do
really
they have to be running?
No, because you've got hydraulic rigs. So
Oh, so you can put an external hydraulic pump onto it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, really cool.
That's amazing.
So,
But again, you know, there's I don't think you can't, like, you know, sort of say it's not dangerous or anything like your job, because I think that there's a lot of, like, if someone is a test anything, there's probably a lot of them that you know,
I guess the only thing
don't
is
make
that
it because they're the test dummy.
But I think there's a big difference, because I don't want to overplay my part here, and because I wouldn't, but there's a big difference between developmental test flying, those very, very, like, incredibly bright guys who use, you know, more and more these days, it doesn't happen because a lot of it's computer, you know, flow dynamics, all that sort of thing. They know it's going to work. But somebody has got to be, you know, the first time they roll out an F-22 and F-35, that thing's never flown. You know, all the calculations look good. But as you go back in time, you know, to the 70s and the 60s and the 50s, those guys were absolute superheroes. And the people, you know, they go, it should work, mate. Off you go. And, you know, incredible.
Well, watch the museum tour at the end, because there's, do you remember that? Like,
Yeah.
what was it called? The
Flea or something.
Yeah, the flea or something, wasn't it? Yeah. But it's great. Just look out for that other thing, because it shows how amazing it is. Then just at the end it goes, this design had to be banned because of several fatalities.
Unfortunately, this is an amazing concept. Have you ever thought of a flying car?
This could do 6,000 feet.
So
And then crash to the ground.
So maintenance test flying isn't really that, but I do take your point. There have been a couple. So I had a lot of times when things went wrong, but not to the point I had to eject. So a lot of the time you'd call up, you'd put out a pan call. So you call up, and basically you get priority to come back into the airfield, and then as you're landing.
What is it? Panic call?
What does PAN stand for? So you've got Mayday, which is like, this is a bit of a shit show, it's all going horribly wrong. But PAN is like cautionary, and what it allows you to do is have priority to come back. So things like engine vibration was a classic.
Right.
So
okay.
how's the archive?
Not great.
So engine vibration would be a classic. So you'd be flying along. So one of the tests was you start at 5,000 feet, and you start a climb at full power, and you climb all the way to 40,000 feet, and you'd get to somewhere that there was an altitude about 25,000 feet. There was like a step change in the sort of the input of the engine, and sometimes it would go from a lovely buzz and everything was fine to a and
you can feel that.
Oh my God, like shake your fillings out. So
wow,
you know, so you come back.
Because surely I would have thought that the external forces of the air and stuff like that would surpass anything going on inside the plane.
No, you're very much connected to it, really, because you know, you can feel.
It's like when you said, you know, the little spare hydraulic pump thing that flies out. It says you can tell when that's up. It's like, really?
Oh yeah, the ram air turbine. Yeah.
And so if you're going along and if you like change the flaps or, you know, ailerons severely, can you hear and sense that?
Yeah, you can. Well, you can definitely sense it.
Because obviously you're moving.
Yeah.
Because of it.
So you know, it makes,
but there's like a noise change.
Yeah,
and stuff.
and you can hear that. You can hear. There's an amazing video which we'll put the link to that somebody's found of Joey displaying that jet that we did the walk around in 2005. And I haven't really looked at it from a sound point of view, but I was watching it earlier.
I'll put the link to it in the description of the video. It'll be in the description of the video. Go on to the description of the video, you can watch it.
But if there's audio in that cockpit video, you'll be able to hear the engine, the different RPMs and stuff like that.
No way, that's
So
cool,
that's quite
isn't
cool.
it?
Yeah. So things went like that in a precautionary way. Come back like many times. Came back with vibrations or like amber caption, stuff like that. And there was that one that I told you about where the oil caption came on, which was like probably the most serious, where the return pipe hadn't been connected.
Yes.
So you know.
So it's just dumping its oil.
Yeah, it had no oil. Yeah, things like that. But it was more a case of awareness of the thing hadn't flown for a long time, really. But no, I was just absolute trust in those engineers. They're incredible. Same on the Puma. There's a lot of moving parts on the Puma.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I had one thing with the Puma where the engines are above the cockpit and the fuel filters are up there as well. And somebody had put the fuel filters on in such... There was like a rubber O-ring seal, and it needed to be greased and just pushed straight on and then tightened up. But it had gone on dry, never a good thing.
No.
And I think that apparently, this is hearsay, you know, sorry if this is not true, but this is what I was told afterwards. The guy, like tried to position it, and what that did, because the O-ring, you can imagine an O-ring rubber seal sitting in like a half, where the other half of the circle of the rubber, if you like, just sits over it. But he went like that. And when he turned it, it sort of screwed up. It like
scrunched up. Yeah.
And when he tightened up, it just pinched it off.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, that's a daily occurrence in the workshop. It happens all the time. It's a nightmare because quite pushing something in.
Yeah.
Is a lot harder than just sort of like, you know, wedging it in.
Yeah.
So, but you can't do that because you start doing that and it'll disturb the O-ring. It's so annoying.
Oh, okay. So you know exactly.
Yeah, all the time. It's so frustrating.
So then when he like clamped it up, it pinched off and cut off the rubber seal. So when I started up, it was a high pressure fuel filter, and it's up above the cockpit here where the engines are. And
good place to have it.
It's like, is it raining? What the hell is going on? Because there's like fluid like running down the windscreens of the Puma. And then I look out and there's a guy basically on a long lead. He's talking to you while you're starting up because it's an engineer, because it's just come out of servicing, and he's going, shut down, and shut down. And we were basically sitting in a swirling cloud of fuel vapor. I mean, it isn't that. It's quite inert, really. It's not too bad. It's not like petrol, but even so, it's not ideal.
No.
So, yeah. But things do. I say things do go wrong, but generally those considering there were 7 years on the Puma, and then another 12 on the, so 19 years of maintenance test flying. Yeah, got away with that, and that's down to the quality of the engineers,
Absolutely
without a
superb.
doubt.
That's really cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
So was that your career then?
Yeah, that was basically the major chunk of my. So 28 years of flying, 19 of them as a unit.
What were
test
the
flight.
other years of flying?
Search and rescue
So you're
the
RAF
West-
Search and Rescue?
on the Wessex.
Oh, nice.
And then
Yeah. I didn't think you were. I didn't think it was a test pilot. I do remember you saying you were Search and Rescue as well. I'm trying to sort of act dumb a little bit because Wynne tells everybody in the bar this
That's not true.
every Friday night and usually Saturday nights.
So, have I told you?
I search and rescue and I save people's lives. And you fucking can't even give me a drink. Come on, why? Every weekend.
Do you know that?
Do you know what I've done for you? You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. I just work in a bar, mate. I've never even been on near a cliff.
Who are you? Why do you smell of piss and cabbage? You're old. Get out.
So search and rescue.
Yeah, and then Pumas, the operational Puma tour in Northern Ireland.
Yeah, I remember you saying about that.
And then
with
thought
guns
that's
and
all a
stuff.
bit dangerous. I'll just go and do the maintenance stuff. And then either side of that is training, because training takes years, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it does. Takes
Fair.
time. So we comments, weren't we?
So I hope that answers your question.
Sorry, mate. We
It's
can
going to take us a while to get to all these.
So we should be able to fit one more in.
Do you want to find one or do you want me to find
No,
one?
I want to find. There must be.
Steve May 9219 said, Ben, do you ever look back at the first podcast and see how much you changed your shape? Well done, you look so much better, mate. That was a really nice. Thank you very much for saying
That's
that. That
a
was
really
really
nice
nice
thing
thing to say.
Yeah.
I wanted to say as well, I've done two. So been doing a lot of running and I did 2 new personal bests. Like the last 2 times I've been running, both have been personal bests.
Awesome.
And I used to be, a few months ago, I was doing over 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And now I'm at 26 minutes. Not
That's
4 minutes off.
significant.
Significant, man. Anyway, so thank
And
you very
if
much
you
for
are
saying
new
that.
to the podcast, if you go back and look at podcast number 1,
I mean, I'm still quite fat, but I was
it's
fucking huge. Like,
September 2023.
yeah.
He's a fucking walrus.
Yeah, it was like that rhinoceros off Jumanji at the end. That was me all the time.
Yeah.
Do you want me to find one, or have you got one?
PWOE OUEK. Puic. I don't know how to say that. From Nino, not from Nino from Not Economically Viable. I said, which was if you're new, that was a really good podcast that you did with Nino, who's like a great guy.
Car YouTube person.
Yeah. It says,
I'm going to do here's a little spoiler. If you're from Tasty Classics, I'm going to do a collaboration with him potentially next week.
oh, cool.
Which is rescuing a car that's been parked for 25 years, and I'm going to attempt to drive it 4 hours and 250 miles home.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's exciting.
You're going to do another podcast with him. Would you be up for that? Because he was great.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. It's still mates.
It says, my wife often tells me that when 2 guys meet, there is always a moment when they talk about cars. According to this interview, she's right.
Yep.
Because that's basically what it was, wasn't it?
Sounds about right, yep. So, a few people mentioned the electric cars thing again. I don't care. Electric cars are shit.
Oh, there's one. Yeah, let's do another car one.
I've clicked on it. I haven't responded.
Why is Wynne dressed like an Indian Prime Minister? I still don't understand that.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you not own a mirror?
Frank Sanderson 4939. Why is Wynne dressed like an Indian Prime Minister? I don't know why that is. It's lovely though. I really like. That's one of my favourite comments.
Quite a few people have mentioned, but the one I've landed on here is Simon Baxter 8001. Why have they got 4 numbers after the name? Anyway, Simon Baxter says the screw head that was on the Hawk is called a tri-wing screw.
Yeah.
Fine, great. I'm glad.
Awesome.
I'm better for knowing that. And he says they're used on some consumer products now as anti-tamper screws,
Okay.
which is pretty good.
Yeah. Very good.
Absolutely loved this episode. I could have listened to Wynne talk all day about this.
Wynne
Come
talk,
to the
mate.
pub.
Wynne. Wynne talk. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
No, but
Fine, whatever. Do you want, shall I go?
but what do I know about cars? That's why it works.
Probably
mate.
more than me, really.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is how this started. Is that we used to talk about this? I used to ask you tons of questions about cars, and then I'd say, "Do you want to know something about an airplane?" And then I'd ask more questions about cars.
Yeah, whatever. Someone said I wish to Spitfire. That'd be amazing. When can we get one of those? That was the plane that you said you would love to fly the most.
I'd love to. From episode 37, she washed the car with a scouring pad. The Big Bowler, which I like, good name,
Nice.
said, the story about the Audi and the scouring pad turned my stomach.
Yeah.
I had to pause and go and get a drink.
It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
Lots of people just saying, really cool and thank you very much for it and stuff as well. Someone said I should paint the Plymouth in those colours, so the black and the yellow, with the flames outside.
hot
and
rod.
It would look amazing, especially with a big thing coming out
That
the
is
bonnet. Big
not
intake.
a bad idea.
The only thing is, though, is I don't want to paint the Plymouth because the paint's nice. But if I did need to ever paint a car like that, it would be a great colour scheme.
You do need a hot rod now.
I do need a hot rod. That would be pretty cool. I mean, the truck's technically a hot rod.
You
Because
would.
it's a hopped up
That orange
V8.
is lovely, though, isn't it?
It is. I'd never,
You
do,
wouldn't-
never change that. Thank you so much, Wynne, for showing us all around the wonderful Hawk T1. I was there as well. I had to do all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Someone says he worked for BAE in Saudi for 7 years on the Mark 6 MK65.
I know, that's really cool, that.
That is very, very
So the
cool.
export versions had all these weird sort of numbers after them. Mark 65 obviously was the one that went to Saudi. Yeah, really cool.
That is very, very good. Someone's left an incredibly long but incredibly amazing comment just saying it was David BL1BT. Won't read it all, but he just says we're amazing, so we'll take that. And then he says, yes, find a Puma. I want to find a Puma. I think that'd be totally sick if we found a Puma. I do want to do the... Someone said as well, David Blakeman, wow, best YouTube I've ever watched.
I know, amazing.
God, what else is on your... surely there's got to be better stuff.
I won't read it out, but we have actually had a comment from Joey as well. Why
don't you read it out?
No, because it's embarrassingly...
Slushy.
Yeah.
It is slushy. I did read it, I remember.
But
Joey's the guy, if you haven't watched the last one, Joey's the guy who picked the colour scheme for that Hawk, and his name was all over the side of it,
and there is now a video of him flying that.
which is in the description of
Yeah.
the video. Click on it, but not until you finish watching this, please. Someone has said, I love aeroplanes as much as I do cars and watching tasty classics.
There you go.
Yeah.
And there's another one here, bike license.
Thanks, Mum. Oh, no, it's John PS65.
It says about you, bike license, pilot license, Ben, question mark?
Yeah, massively. So when we were in Canavan, I'm very keen to get a couple of those under my belt, maybe start doing some lessons.
Well, Harden is closer, isn't it?
Oh, right, okay, we'll do Harden then, yeah. Well, absolutely it is. Yeah, there is a flight school there as well.
Yeah, there is.
But just got to pay off the motorbike first before I can start thinking of the next thing.
Okay.
I'm still paying that off as an expensive venture.
Here we go. Sid 3300. I was thoroughly disappointed that none of the switchgear looked the same as my Saab 9.3, which apparently is born from jets.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, they do the whole sweeping thing of the dial, so the dials show 90 mile an hour.
Yeah.
And then when you get over 90 mile an hour, the rest of the speedo lights up and goes from 90 mile an hour to 150.
Which does
the
not
coolest feature.
in an airplane. Would love to see Wynne drive some of the cars Ben has, like the Porsche.
No, we're not going to do that. I'd love to see
Sid,
that.
mate, I tried. Thanks.
No, I'd love to see that. But I was thinking, so for the first track day one we're going to do, we've got two options, Wynne. There's a French hatchback, which should be a lot of fun, and it's probably easily by far the most sensible option. However,
What, the 205?
No, there is that one, but the other one, which we can't say because it's a spoiler,
yes,
the one that
okay.
nobody's seen yet. But what I thought would be more of a spectacle, and is a video that I need to do soon, is the Rover P4.
Oh, around Oldham Park.
Yeah, man. So the P4, I've got this, I call it the Viking. It's a Rover P4 100. And when I got it, it was in a million pieces with a seized engine. It's completely fucked. And now it is in one piece, still a bit fucked. But the idea is to make it reliable to use on the track. 'Cause I've got all the parts, I just haven't got round to doing the video yet. You could drive it anywhere, but it just needs to make it a bit more turnkey.
Yeah.
It's got fuel tank issues. So want to do that, put an alley tank in it, put bucket seats in it, so we've got bucket seat each, get some headset radio things, and you drive the P4.
Awesome. I'd love to.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I would like to do...
It just look better, big steering wheel, it's just,
Yeah.
it'd look
That
more
would be
fun.
good. That would be good. I would like to, whatever, the P4 would be amazing, but I'd like to do a track day, because I've never, ever done one. Where
Yeah, but you flew fucking jets,
No,
mate,
but
so
it's
doing
so
a track
different.
day is like getting the bus.
No, it's not the same, because you know about things like apexes and things like that, and it would just, and breaking points. It would be a really cool thing to do. It would. Were you saying, brake, it's like, or like,
Mate, you'll be doddering around. I
You'll
don't
be-
need to say that. I'll be like, put your foot down. Go faster. Why are you going so slow?
why have you braked there?
Yeah. Corner's not tilt for ages.
Yeah. It's, that I'd really like to do that. So one of the other, because somebody was asking about what's coming up. So we've talked about, sorry if we're repeating this, we've talked about hiring a simulator.
Oh, that's the one I want to do the most.
Because Ben has this classic fantasy.
It's not.
It's a bloke
just,
thing.
It's not just me.
It's not just
every bloke
Yeah.
in the world.
So you're going to Prague
Yeah, or Malaga.
or Malaga, and the
And in a 747, 100,
Yeah.
170 souls on board.
170 souls on board, and the head steward bursts into the cabin, uses the microphone that they normally tell you to do and the exits are here, and says both of the pilots have eaten the
Perished.
fish, because
Yeah.
normally one would have the chicken and one would have the fish just in case.
Is that true? Is that
Yeah,
actually the thing?
they have different meals in case of food poisoning, and then
But they both had the same one in
they
this.
both
scenario.
had the same one, dodgy oyster.
Oh God! Why you have oysters on a plane?
And they both slumped over. Is there a pilot on board? Like, nothing.
Yeah.
Is there anybody who thinks that they could...
I'll do it. Hello. Excuse me.
In fact,
I'll do it.
You'd probably be like punching the pilot and
Yeah.
saying, oh, well, luckily I'm a pilot. Shut up, man.
Yeah, fuck off. I'll do it. Well, if I can't do it, you can do it.
So we thought about reconstructing that scenario
Yeah.
in a proper simulator.
So
And
the-
see actually what does happen.
So the idea is that we do it slightly differently. Where if Wynne and I were off to Malaga, and Wynne was like, as pilot, and Wynne's like, look at me like, well, you can say yours if you want, and I'll be there with you, and I'll talk you through it.
Yeah.
That's more of the idea.
The difference there, though, is that there's an assumption that if you're a pilot, you're a pilot, you're a pilot. I've never flown like that sort of airplane.
But the thing is,
a Boeing or an Airbus.
if it was a choice between me or you,
yeah.
it's probably going to be you, isn't
No,
it?
and with some sort of instruction from the ground, I'm sure I could work it out, because you need numbers. You need numbers when you put the flaps down. You need numbers. You need sort of. I could probably. They'd have to tell you. If you look over your head, over there, that's how you put that on, or that's how you put these flaps down. Some things would be obvious. Well, those will be the throttles, in I guess.
Yeah. Coffee machine.
Coffee machine. Yeah.
Well, I think we can get there'll be a person running the simulator.
Yeah.
So we can get them to launch us into that scenario. So
Yeah.
we're high above the sea, and
Yeah.
we're heading. We're on a bearing for Spain or whatever, and then you can ask him the question. I can do the stuff, and I can ask you, and he can tell us any numbers or anything we need.
Yeah.
And the idea is
Between us.
we save these 170 souls.
Yeah.
We save them.
And then after that, we can ask him, can we try and do a barrel roll or something?
That'd be
That'd be
amazing.
cool. I wonder if they let you. I mean, I wouldn't.
No,
No,
it wouldn't
as in,
break a simulator, would it?
no, you can't really. Most of them have been in lots of simulators, but most of them, if you do something wrong, it goes. It's like, oh well, I guess you're not allowed to do that. So I wonder if the coding of it allows you to do wacky shit with it.
I would imagine. So you could do on Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
That's probably what they use, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Neb's Mates 8663, who has a picture of the Union Jack with "wah" over it, says ... idiots. Don't play with stuff you do not understand.
Yeah, fair.
Those props have killed the inattentive.
Yeah.
Their fault for being inattentive. You know, why get away from the fucking big spinny blender thing attached to the front of that? Don't get away from it. It's on. Did you not have an introduction to airports, hangars, and safety? No, because he used to fucking run the things. You don't need it. None of them were working. We didn't have any keys. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. Take a day off. Go for a walk. It's a lovely day. It's the middle of summer. Anyway, thanks very much for that. We appreciate your comments. Helps boost the algorithm. Call us idiots if you want.
We are idiots.
We are idiots.
Yeah.
One of us more than others.
Speed is Life t-shirt. Please, or key tag. Need something while I'm running about in my MG midget.
Love that.
Speed is Life.
Speed is life, yep. Someone says here, Wynne is one of life's best people and a thorough gentleman. What the fuck?
I like him.
Right, that was...
My mum.
It was Joey.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
That's the one I don't want to read out.
So,
it's embarrassing.
Absolutely loved... So this is Joey now. This is Phil Diacon. Absolutely loved flying these jets. Wynne is one of the life's best people and a thorough gentleman. He was pissed when he went.
He was clearly
hammered.
Yeah.
He accompanied me on several trips, including Malta, en route to Cyprus. From memory, we'll have to check my logbook. And that's got 7 likes, that comment.
Yeah.
Which is really, really cool.
He's a cool man. And if you watch the video of the...
Could we get him on the podcast? Where's he live, do you know?
I think it's down south somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, forget it then. Wait, Phil, if you're still watching this, where do you live? Are you local? Because we'd love to get you on. It'd be a great chat. If we could.
Yeah, that would be good.
He's
a lovely man.
Yeah.
And if you watch the video of him actually flying his display in that jet in 2005, you will not be unimpressed. You can't fail to be impressed with it. It's very cool.
There you go. Click the button in the thing. Really interesting video. It's just loads of people saying really nice things, which is awesome.
It's hard to keep reading them out, isn't it? It's like, because normally it's like, what are you on about?
Yeah. Someone says there were a liney on Hawk T1 at Valley. So what does liney mean?
So liney means, so when the airplanes come back, you've got immediate servicing that goes on. So if you think of a pit stop for a Formula 1 car, but
so is that stuff like tyres, brakes, that kind of thing?
Checking like immediate
oil levels.
Yeah, it needs fuel. It needs
wiper blades.
All that cleaning the screen, all that sort of stuff.
Nice.
And a liney is.
Do they have jet wash? Not jet wash. Do they have screen wash?
No.
That's interesting, isn't it?
But if they are getting a bit dirty, because you don't really get flies per se, but you get like a little smudge. Like, because obviously, you know, it's very rounded, isn't it? So you don't really get, but you get these little tiny smudgy marks. But if you go through a cloud, it's perfectly clean. In all the water droplets.
No way.
So whoosh through a bit of a cloud, you come out the other side. It's like, oh, that's better.
So if you would you purposely do that?
Not really, but I've noticed that, you know, sort of it's perfectly fine to see through it. But and things like rain, you don't.
So is a cloud water?
Yes, it's water vapor. Yeah.
So
sorry, I shouldn't, mate. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have laughed. Yes.
But I thought I understand. But obviously it turns into what, and it falls out. But if you're flying through it, you're quickening up that process, and the water physically.
No, let's not get into cloud seeding. That's
no. And what do you leave in the cloud?
I tell you what is really good fun. It's like, so if you get these lovely fluffy, they're called cumulus, so they're real bubbly ones in the summer. The shapes they make are incredible. So if you've got for example, if we are going to do a partial air test that took like 45 minutes something, it'd be 15 minutes of fuel. Well, I could do what's called general handling, which is basically training, and I'd write it down as general handling, but actually it was arsing about in a jet on my own, which was cool.
That's
and you
awesome.
could fly
General handling. So was general handling the best one you could get?
Well, for me, the things you need to do instrument approaches, like we talked about, doing the precision approach into Shawbury. You need to do so many of those. ILS was a slightly degraded version. So instead of a very accomplished person talking you down, which was incredible, but the RF do that so well. This one was like you're basically crossing needles to keep on the centre light and the glide path, that sort of thing. But there's also other things you needed to do, and one of those was a little bit of general handling there and here and there, not much, but you could go flying along. So there's different cloud formations. You can get very, very flat. If you get a temperature inversion, the cloud is completely flat on top. And you can fly along like as fast as you can go, and you can get, within 5 feet. So the speed rush is ridiculous.
Wow.
Absolutely ridiculous.
So you're almost pretending the top of the cloud is the ground.
It is the ground.
Wow.
So instead of being like 250 feet, which feels great, you could be like 5 or 10 feet. And there'd be a little lump, and you'd try and avoid it, and you'd just like whoosh into the crowd. You go, well, that's me dead. And then the other thing to do was like do the same thing, like go inverted, and then let yourself down to see how low you could get.
Whoa.
Like above this perfectly flat.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
So that's cool. The other thing, if there's a lot of bubbly cloud formations, you get valleys, you get arches, you get like mountains. So you can fly up the side of what is a massive mountain, but it's just a cloud, and just turn inverted and pull over the top and down the other side.
Fuck, it sounds like such a shit job.
It's a shit job, but somebody had to do it. Yeah, so lucky. So
that is
lucky.
awesome.
Yeah, all memories now. And they'll fade slowly, won't they?
Yeah.
I'll be in the old people's home. Go in, and they'll go, you what, love?
6 months to a year, do you reckon?
Change the channel on the telly.
Are we doing another podcast, but when we finished that years ago, stop it. I'll move to America.
Yeah.
Nice, okay. So what's a liney?
So the immediate things that need to be done. So the airplane's parked, and it needs to be turned round.
So it's service person.
It's an immediate service. Check all the hydraulic pressures.
Got you.
Put fuel in it. Check the oxygen levels. Check the batteries are all right. That sort of stuff.
He says he's still there on the Hawk T2.
I know. I saw that.
That's really cool.
I bet I know his
So that's Stuart Jones.
Yeah.
Hello, Stuart.
I have replied to him.
Yeah, you have. And someone says, I was an RAF tanker driver at RAF Broady and RAF Whiten, refuelling Hawks, loved them. And that sounds like Jason French, that sounds like the kind of job I would like to do.
Yeah, so cool.
Flying around in a big tanker. Fill her up, on my way, coming. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, cool.
Sounds really good. Someone said, Tony B. Drummer says, thanks for this video, absolutely wonderful. Have subscribed to your channel as of this morning. What about a Wessex walk and talk around, please?
Yeah.
So again, if you can find one of these, so how old's a Wessex now?
It's
then?
old. It's really old.
Yeah.
They've been out of service for a long time. But again, I know I've seen one in the Cosford Air Museum.
Oh wow!
But
in the museum.
but it's up on the wall. They put it sort of like high up. You know, there was the one in the museum.
Which you'll see at the end of this podcast.
Yeah.
There's a big search and rescue one there. Do you know what that was?
That's a whirlwind.
Nice, okay.
But there's a green Northern Ireland Wessex, but I think it's up on the wall. But it'd be great to find one to crawl over.
One that's just
over.
on its wheels, in a hangar somewhere, similar
So
to what we had.
We've got a Puma and
If
a Wessex.
you've got a Puma or a Wessex in your hangar,
or know of one,
or know of one, let us know.
Yeah.
And well, Stuart Jones, maybe get us into Valley if there's. Stuart Jones, is there anything at Valley?
No, there isn't.
Oh, okay.
It's just not a place that they keep old aeroplanes, really.
Fair enough.
Because it's very up to date and they do real stuff.
Graham Hedger says, "Wow, awesome, cool. Come on, Ben, you sound a bit daft." And then I replied, "As do you, Graham, but I was sat in a jet. What's your excuse?"
Sorry, mate.
Again, comment whatever you like.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's all good for the algorithm. Thanks. Appreciate it. But you can't sit in a fucking jet and not
Stop
turn
dribbling.
into a 9-year-old.
Yeah, I know.
You can't. It's impossible. And when you just sit there and go, "This is lovely in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. What a lovely switch gear you have there. I really like the dynamic and the ergonomic location of all the buttons, and yeah, it's fantastic. It's really good."
Yeah, you didn't do that.
No. I was like a small child.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Well, I could see that.
Yeah.
So I was watching it with a
Friend of yours.
person that I now live with.
Yeah.
And
Who's amazing.
she was saying, so we watched a bit of it, and she goes, "I couldn't." She was worried that you were going to cry.
I know.
Because she's very good friends of
Yeah,
yours as well.
yeah.
And it got to the bit where you said something like, "Oh, it's the smell," and she goes, "Oh no, is Wynne going to cry?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
"No,
Whatever.
no, don't cry."
It honestly, it was that point that was really amazing. I wasn't expecting that. Open the canopy and that smell. I didn't realise how distinct it was.
It's very like it's
hydraulic.
I've never
and
smelled
metal.
that smell.
No.
That was a very new smell.
Yeah. And it's functional, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Grease and hydraulics and metal and whatever it is makes that smell. But yeah, that was amazing. And it was trapped in that canopy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it opened and it goes, whoa, hang on. Yeah.
Oof. PB says, "Really enjoyed watching this. Would be great if you could show Ben another aircraft some point." But he says a Vulcan visit would be awesome. Woodford's example is probably nearest to you. So this is another thing. We don't have to just, because I imagine you know a lot more about Vulcans and stuff and other planes and things.
I do.
Than I do. I don't know much about them at all. But I would, But you're gonna. If I point something out, you're probably gonna know what it is, even if you don't, sort of.
I wouldn't pretend to know. Like, I think we've peaked with knowledge because I flew it for 12 years. And
Fair.
but yeah, I'll know stuff. I mean, Puma's probably the next best knowledge-wise. But yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to go and see something else and climb all over it. Yeah,
Just anything would be
yeah,
great, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
We've been waffling on for over an hour now, I think. But we just, again, so many hugely fabulous comments.
Honestly, blown away by the comments. And it's really, it takes a while to answer them all, but I do try to, the ones that are applicable to me. Normally there's loads of car ones and I don't have to. But.
Not much is happening cars-wise at the moment, just fucking welding.
Welding your eyes.
Lord Clunk says, "I wish Ben would shut up and let Wynne finish talking."
Rude Lord Clunk.
Fucking hell. What a way for a lord to speak. Bloody hell, should know better. Good God.
Daniel Gill, 9846, says, "Do a bike safe course, Ben. Cheap and invaluable to bikers."
Interesting. So, I do want to do that. So, but when I got my license, I spoke to the guys at the Ride Academy and I said, "Can I do an advanced course?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Yes," but he says, "But before you do, I want you to do a full season."
Okay.
So we won't take you out now. You need a full season experience before you'll appreciate what we're going to teach you.
Well, that leads into another stupid idea that we've got for a podcast, which is to do an off-road motorcycle day.
But also, if you could all comment, "Win, buy a motorbike and get your test," or just buy a motorbike and pretend you've got your test.
Well, I
'Cause
had one for 10 years, didn't I?
Yeah, Norton.
Yeah, I had a Norton
antivirus.
Yeah, I had a Norton 850 Commando for 10 years, but I've never had a license. But it's not tricky, is it? No, they don't. You don't stop you on a classic It's like, well, look at that old fella. He knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
You've got to know what you're doing to start it. So there's no doubt he's got a license.
Must have a license.
Yeah.
Look at the age of him.
Yeah. Mark, I don't know when this was. 120964, 4 weeks ago, says Wynne is resurrected and out of rehab.
That was because we did the
What was that for?
we did the trimming podcast. Me and Ben when I went to see.
Yeah.
One of the things I'd like to do more of as well is one of the things I am is I know nothing. So when I'm surrounded by people that have expertise in any areas, I find that my best days.
Yeah, me too.
I enjoy
Every day's a school day.
absolutely, and I just have a mind that will ask questions that maybe other people won't, because
Yeah.
like I'm a bit daft, as Thingy said. Whenever I find people like Ben, who's a Bentley trained automotive trimmer, there's a lot of stuff there which I'm just really desperate to know. And when I'm talking to you about planes, I'm really desperate to know. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking there is a couple of other people I've got in mind. To go and see, to sort of do that kind of podcast with, where I'm sort of just exploring what they do. One of the guys I really, really want to get sat next to is one of the directors of MSV, the people that own Alton Park, Cadwell.
Wow.
That do all the track days.
Yeah.
Motorsport venues or something, whatever the MSV is, but. All these places were private, and then this company sort of started off. I think they just started off doing their own track days, and then they got bigger and bigger. And then they're buying the circuits, and they've changed what track days were, especially Cadwell Park. Cadwell Park's like Centre Parks. It's so cool.
Is
it's
it?
just
Is it Lincolnshire?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to say. But the everything's so much better. The car parks are perfect. The toilets are immaculate. There's water. There's everything. It's just everything's laid out perfectly. The timings are spot on. Just if you need something, there's marshals everywhere. It's so much better run than when I first was doing track
Sounds
days.
great.
They were shocking. So I'd love to get him in and talk to him about why he's bothered.
Yeah.
Really, why he sort of decided to sort of go down that route of making.
That'd be such a good podcast.
Yeah, making motorsport venues better, and managing stuff
Just got
like
it, MSP.
touring cars.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool.
So I want to. So if you're listening, mate, give us a shout.
Yeah.
He's definitely not listening.
And
or
we
watching.
could probably get a free track day as well.
Be good.
Yeah.
But they're so exciting. I record
Doesn't need to be
some of the
free.
track days for Tasty Classics, and the last one I recorded, I had all the cameras set up in the car, and I had 3 cameras in the car, and the guy, one of the marshals, came up to me, and I thought, fuck, because I was stood outside the car doing a load of recording in the paddock,
Yeah.
and I thought he's going to fucking kick me out, or he's going to tell me to stop recording, he's going to tell me, all this sort of stuff, and he came up to me, and he just went in his pocket, and he pulled out a handful of cable ties, and just goes, could you do me a massive favour, mate? Love the cameras, absolutely really appreciate it, but can you just make sure they're hard mounted? So just tie this around your camera and just tie it around the mirror, so if it falls off, it doesn't go under your pedals. So
Awesome.
it just sticks to it, so it stays.
That makes so
down
much
the line.
sense too.
And he just goes, honestly, mate, you're fantastic. You're doing a great thing. Love the car, because what was it? I was in the Boxster.
Yeah.
When he said that, I was doing the Boxster Resurrection thing, and he was just like, love the car. It's immaculate.
I love that
The
approach.
nicest. Yeah, just so. He could have been a dickhead.
Yeah.
Could have been an
a
absolute
traffic
dickhead.
warden type.
Yeah. Sort your fucking cameras out.
I'll-
You can't do that. You're
I
not getting on.
you'll find.
Yeah. But he was just the nicest, and
really
they
cool.
all are.
Really
They
cool.
all are. They're really good. Which I think, if we're getting in touch with them when we go and do our track day, if we sort of explain what we're sort of doing a little bit more, I think they'd love that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Should we go into the museum visit?
Yeah, should we? So over to Dave, really, isn't it?
Over to Dave. This is the Canavan Airport Museum that me and Wynne went round, so I hope you enjoy this. It's only half an hour long, so if you could watch it till the end, please. There is going to be a test.
Yeah.
And we will see you for episode 42 at some point. And again, thank you all for subscribing. And if you enjoy any of it and you haven't subscribed yet, if you want to do, that'd be cool.
Cool. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where that's going to go, I have no idea. So we need more room.
Okay.
Of course, the Hawk will be the centrepiece of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, great. Because I've also got some photos of it that I took from the jet when I was in formation with it on the way to Malta for an air show.
Good heavens. Oh, wow.
I'll have to get an email from you,
Yes.
and I'll send these to
Yes,
you,
please.
obviously.
Yes.
So I took that photo from my jet, and so we went to an air show in Malta. That's on the ground in Malta. That's Phil Towell. He's a guy from Holyhead. He's an engineer. I flew with a lot. And then
He does this all the time, you know. Whenever we're out on the day, he's getting, I flew this plane.
I'm so used to people coming out of the museum. The thing you dread is someone going, and you think, oh no.
yeah. Oh no.
When they get the phone out, it's double O now.
I saw a plane
But
once.
I'll send these to you. And we were supposed to go back to Shawbury, but to Valley, but it was out of wind limit, so we landed on the way back from Malta. We stayed at Shawbury for the night, and that's Joey, who it was his idea and his patent scheme. Phil Diacon.
Yes.
Has he seen it? Has he been here?
I don't know. Not to my knowledge, but he might have come when I wasn't here.
I haven't spoken to him for years, but I'll send him a message so he knows it's here. It'll be quite nice for him because it's got his name on the side. So that's cool.
I understand there's a bit of a controversial story about that.
Oh, yes. Well, there was a controversial story about the paint job. Not many people liked the paint job.
Okay.
Because a lot of the stalwart aviation enthusiasts thought it looked horrible because it's supposed to look like a hot rod. And
Hot rods are cool, though.
Yeah, I think it looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody good.
It looks great, yeah. How long has the museum been?
Museum opened in '88.
Okay.
It's just a bunch of people. They got a job, lots of aircraft, I believe.
Okay.
Like about 3-part vampires, and built one out of the bits, and the rest were outside.
Oh my God, look at this. What did someone say? Someone commented the other day that the frame rate on the camera is making the blades seem that they're not spinning.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to Wheels and Wings podcast, episode 41.
Yes.
We are here at the Canavan Aviation Museum. If you watched episode 40 of Wheels and Wings podcast, Wynne and I have been looking around the Hawk that you flew. You were the last person to fly.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it?
Insane. Can't believe the fortuitousness of the situation. It's almost like we made it up for this,
Yeah.
but we haven't.
Honestly didn't.
Yeah. So we're now in the museum. We're going to have a bit of a wander around. So is this a semi-detached house that you flew?
No, this is a whirlwind. The whirlwind came before the Wessex. I flew the Wessex.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, which is
It's cool, isn't it? Big.
yeah.
old
There's
bus.
a lot of people. Same squadron. I was on 22 Squadron, so that's 22 Squadron's badge.
Nice.
And
What's the pie symbol for?
they're in Malta, hence the Maltese cross. And 7 Squadron were there at the same time as 22. So they put the pi on it as in 22/7, which is pi.
No way.
Yeah.
That's very good. Very early. Series 1, potentially. Is that a Series 1 or is it a... it's a lightweight. Oh no, it's a Series 3 lightweight model. Nice. So it has these... lots of things cut out for the lightweight model, and I think a few other little bits as well. Very smart bit of kit. Very cool.
But these slate things were on the side of, when I was here flying search and rescue helicopters, these were on in the squadron when I was there.
No way.
Well, obviously not that one, it was 2000, but these, and yeah. So I flew with Pat Thurkel, the navigator, lovely man.
Incredible. Oh, good. You're just checking to see if your name's on any of this.
Yeah, I know they're not, because
okay.
it's like on the 1000th rescue or flight or whatever they're for. As you can see, there's like 1,000 there, and 8 and 6, and they go.
Oh, okay.
And you just happen to be on shift at the time, and I wasn't on shift when any of those things happened. I was there when one of them happened, but I can't remember which one.
Bloody hell. You all right, Paul? Quiet, stoic. Nice. Westland Whirlwind helicopter engine.
Yeah, this was from the Wessex and the Sea King had this, so the Wessex had this as well.
Very cool bit of kit, isn't it? Again, complicated.
The size of that.
Good God, look at this thing. That's huge.
Massive.
Gloucester Javelin. Nice missile there as well, that's pretty cool.
Never been in here. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, should we get a cup of tea? Hello dear. Have 2 teas, please. Oh, panad. Sgwylwch yn da, diolch. Iawn? No. Dim panad.
Oh, nice noises.
Very nice noises. Very cool. Busy day at the office.
Could you put me through to 46902?
Palm trees. Bristol Sycamore helicopter.
Yeah,
Oh, you're allowed to go up in there. Should we have a little...
you can have a little look.
Yeah. You've got to sit in the middle. Like what were those Hondas? CRVs? Or was it HRV?
Well, I think you're in the passenger seat, so the pilot seat would have been...
Oh, so the seats aren't in, are they? They're not
Yeah.
bolted in. So it'd be a bit of a pain reaching the pedals from here.
So your hand's on the cyclic, and that lever there is the collective for going up and down.
So originally all the instruments worked. They gave the pilot exactly what he needed. Horizon, altitude, speed.
Very cool. A terrifying sort of thing to fly. I wouldn't like to go in the sky in this, but people did, didn't they? Saving lives, probably.
We don't have the actual
That's
dials
it.
any longer. They're just stickers in there. So I don't have an instrument.
This fella's quite noisy.
He is. He's a very big YouTuber, that fella.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Bloody hell, look at that in there. Tiny. Flight simulator. Is that what you train on?
You very funny guy. Look at that.
Bloody hell, it's very old, isn't it? It's from 1465.
War for the Link trainer. Many people believe it was one of the most instrumental things in World War II.
Nice rotational engine there. Really cool.
They've got a Hunter, which is what the Hawk took over from.
Oh, so that's... God, it's much bigger.
Yeah, it's huge.
That's crazy. Oh, trains. Try and hit the turtle as it travels around the track. Have you got 10p?
No. Who has 10p?
Who has 10p on them? If you're coming here, fetch 10p with you, won't you? Oh, look at this plane. Was that what you trained in?
No. Oh, that. Yeah. Look at that. The bicycle wheels. Wow.
That's incredible.
I like it.
This is very cool as well, with the wings up like that. It's very smart. Hawk a Seahawk.
Other little butchers. Sort of makes you realise how complete that Hawk is in the other hangar.
Wow, yeah, it's been gutted, hasn't it? Everything's just been cut out as well. But it's often like bits that can be reused or sold on and stuff, isn't it? Like for parts.
And
that just get
especially
sort of cut
instruments. People love having those, don't they?
out. Of course,
This is
yeah.
an altimeter out of a Seahawk.
Yeah. This is very cool. I like it a lot.
So much stuff in here.
You can see a lot better from up here as well. There's an upstairs part. Good grief. So that's a Blériot XL. England is no longer an island. I don't know why I'm doing that weird
The
voice.
first heavier than air machine to cross the English Channel. Well, well.
Well, well. Imagine that.
Those magnificent men in their flying machines.
Yeah.
God, you know, no thank you.
I know. You'd have to be off your head in a wooden chair to go, yeah. I mean, height of technology at the time, wasn't it?
wacky.
There's nothing like it. Good God. Only do one coating of varnish, please, because otherwise we'll fall into the sea. Buttons.
What's happening?
Oh, look at the rudder. It's not rudder, the prop. Oh, look, that's the rudder there, look. Oh, so cool. If you've got kids, I think this... Oh, wow. Oh, wow, yeah. If you've got kids, this would be an amazing place to take them. That's amazing. Or if you've got hyper 37-year-old, you can probably take those as well, couldn't you? People wear that sort of stuff to go clubbing nowadays, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Let's have a look at this thing here. It's a big aeroplane. Oh, it's one of those two-wing things, like... what's it called?
The Vampire. Oh, two tail booms, yeah. This is one of the early jets, isn't it?
Early jets, yeah, with two tail things. That's crazy, isn't it? Good design. Looks good. Looks really good. Oh, it's got two seats side by side.
Yeah.
So you'd be very close in there, wouldn't you? It'd be like flying an MG midget.
You know where I was talking about the tandem seating on the Hawk? And this is side by side, so you'd have an instructor and a student right next to each other. So you can... The nice thing about the Hawk is that they can't get at you if you're doing it really badly.
Yeah. What year? Does it say what year this is?
The 50s, I don't know. Might say down here. First flew in 43.
1943.
Saw active service in 1950.
God. Talking about Malaysia the other day, in the Malayan emergency, because I'm doing the Proton, aren't I? Malaysian.
Yes. Yeah.
And the old tasty classics.
Nice little hook there. See what you did
Absolutely. Bit of a call back to that video that hasn't been out yet. An airfoil demonstration. Oh, it's fantastic. What's happening? Nothing. Okay. Oh, yes. So you've got a little joystick here and it controls that.
Yeah, see, it's what we were on about, isn't it? The ailerons going left and right.
Is this what you learnt to fly planes on?
Yeah.
It's a very nice model. That is awesome.
How to steer an airplane.
Just need... I mean, the thing is, you get this... That is exactly the same as Grand Theft Auto nowadays. There's no difference at all. It's amazing what it's come to. What about all these? Do you want to press some buttons?
Shall I?
If you can. Oh, look! Is that a Harrier?
I think it's before that. Is it supposed to be a Harrier? It might be.
Could be. Not the way it arrived. Oh, and it back down again. Oh, look at that one!
It's taking off.
Oh, good luck! Oh, hard to start?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, it's on a training mission across the sea, and it's going to do a loop back round, I imagine. There it goes. Oh, look, the radar.
Oh, so you don't have to keep it held.
You don't have to keep it held. You can just watch and enjoy. These are very well put together, aren't they? All working.
Oh, no.
Oh God. Oh, thank God. Coming back into land.
Brilliant.
There we go. Touchdown.
Brilliant.
Hovering. Big old engine.
Tornado.
Oh, nice. Is it going through the Mach loop there?
I like that.
That's really cool, isn't it? Chemtrails there.
Not chemtrails.
Yeah, it's China cloud seeding, trying to turn all our dogs gay.
You're a bad person.
That's a huge old bit of kit. Wouldn't mind putting one of those in a Fiat Panda or something.
Rolls Royce. RB199.
Wonder if that's what the Beast had in it.
What beast?
You know, the big. Oh, it was a Merlin, I think. Merlin engine. That the big car that was made. They put a big Rolls Royce engine in.
Oh. Yes.
Pretty sure. Called the Beast. I really like this plane though. I like the look of that. I think that's really cool.
The two twin tail booms.
Yeah. Instruments. Bloody hell. I was making my eyes water. You have to insert
What
that to
is
take
a
your temperature.
It's a sextant, isn't it?
Good God.
This is the Pegasus. This is the Harrier engine.
Was that one that you trained in?
God, somebody's put a lot of effort into making a wooden Spitfire.
That's a full wooden carving. That's crazy. Amazing they found a tree that wide, isn't it?
Yeah. Look at this Harrier engine, this Pegasus. The size of the fan. Then you had the nozzles, one on there. Oh, well, you know, obviously two either side. But that's where the hovering, the nozzle slides point down.
Wow. Thanks for explaining that.
Yeah, you're welcome. In fact, here is the Harrier, isn't it? It's an old one. Obviously.
Yeah. That is awesome. Look at the engine in there. Oh my God.
Big, isn't it?
Really big.
Nozzles.
The thing's massive, considering this thing can hover.
There's the nozzles.
Oh, thanks for that.
Okay.
Just wonder what these nozzles were.
I think it's the wrong audio for the video, isn't it?
Miles, and best of all, does 50 miles to the gallon. If you want to fly high, you can go up to 6,000 feet. It seems to be the poor man's dream of flying come true. Amazing and amusing.
Oh God. And the design was banned. Oh dear.
Hunter, everybody loved the Hunter, never flew one, but everybody who flew it, just, you know, like people love the Hawk.
Yeah, yeah.
Hunter had the same sort of... Hang on, can we get in this?
I think you can get in here. It's got little steps going up to it.
Can
Here you
get
go.
in it.
In you go, old chap.
I don't think...
Don't hit the starter.
Look at that.
Oh,
Look at that.
very comfortable in there.
But
Are you sure this is safe to fly?
you sure it's ready for an air test?
Yeah, be fine, mate. Don't worry about it. Be fine.
Look at that. It's brilliant.
Could you? So, looking at this now, is that something you think you could get in the air? Easy, couldn't you?
Yeah, you'd work it out, wouldn't you? It's like, as I said before, it's the same thing, but getting it started would be the hard bit. Once it's going...
Everything's funny smell, isn't it? Was that you? Everything's labelled, isn't it? Pretty good, isn't it? Could you see yourself flying one of these?
Yes. Give this a shot.
Absolutely.
I think it's very Hawk-like, you know, there's no...
Because it's an aeroplane.
Yeah, but it's like no afterburn or anything like that. It's a very relatively straightforward. I think it's a Rolls-Royce Avon engine, isn't it? But
Nice, okay.
lovely though.
Big. It's very long, isn't it? It's not, you know, it's width not as much, but very long.
Much bigger than the Hawk, isn't it?
Yeah, really cool. Can I try and fit in it?
But yeah, definitely. Whereas the Hawk was almost just, well, pretty much just a trainer. You know, this was a frontline airplane. This is a proper fighter.
So yeah, you're nipping over to mainland Europe to fuck some shit up, aren't you? Essentially.
That's the technical term for it.
Yeah. Oh my God, I wouldn't be very being tall is a major disadvantage, I think, for flying aeroplanes.
Yeah.
I would say. I feel like I'm going to be decapitated by that. And my shins are touching the top of this instrument panel. So if I want to see how fast I was going, I have to do that.
I guess there'll be a way to adjust the pedals forward, but even so,
It's annoying that this is locked, isn't it?
Yeah. There's a theme here.
I just accidentally...
This looks familiar.
If I just took the handbrake off, it rolled back. They're coming for us, quick! God, it's cool as, isn't it? Terrifying. If you had to fly this,
Yeah. Cool though.
people shooting at you,
Yeah.
you're doing your bit, because you're right at the front as well. It's like driving a Bedford Rascal, isn't it? You're right at the front. And you've got all the plane behind you.
Yeah.
Everything's behind you, and you're right here, like, shh. It'd be a weird feeling.
It just you don't think about anything behind you though, do you? It's like that's just doing things to keep you in the air.
I suppose so, yeah. I suppose so. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
I may never be able to get out of this. Ooh, nice little throttle there. Nice.
Those Harriers are amazing.
I'm ejecting.
It's very slowly.
It's very slow ejection.
Oh, is that the thing up there that was banned?
Oh, the Bayek. The GX. Look at this Harrier.
Oh, no, that is amazing.
I remember flying one of these in probably 2018. Again, on Grand Theft Auto, but I did. It was a successful mission. I did have to restart it about 8 times, but if it was real life, we'd be screwed.
This came after the Merlin then?
Look at this. Oh, God, it's like the size of the pistons in my Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Except it's a V12.
God, I wonder if wow. Yeah, 12-cylinder supercharged, 36.7 litres, 2,220 horsepower. It's
Yeah.
an awful lot.
We like that.
2,220 is pretty good. People are getting that out of modified Volkswagen Golfs now, though, aren't they?
Yeah, these days.
Yeah, have a 4-cylinder 2-litre.
Wonder if they do an electric version.
That, you know, the age is starting to come through in places, isn't it? Oh, again, will it run on that? One day. You could probably, I don't know, I imagine you could get something like that for not crazy money and, you know.
What would you do with it? Just start it up?
Yeah, just put it on a rig like this and just fire it up. Maybe attach it to a blender like off Top Gear.
Yeah.
Oh God, look at this here. Wow. Went into the sea. Amazing and amusing.
Dave was right. There's much more to see than you'd think.
Yeah, it's an awesome place to come. If you like aeroplanes, I mean, this is for you. If you like aeroplanes,
I like it a lot.
it's really good. God, it's like that. So that thing there is essentially just like a homemade kit thing, like almost like a Caterham style kit.
Yeah.
And you first thing you have to do is, it says here, buy a copy of Practical Mechanics. Honestly, for only 6 pence. And next, having bought a couple of sheets of plywood, a length of beading and a bag of nails, build the fuselage. Bloody hell. Okay then.
It says exercise hasty felt. Hasty felt. Germany, 79.
And make your very own propeller.
Old Monsieur Minier with his poudre de ciel, or flying flea.
The wingspan of this aircraft is 18 feet, and the horsepower of this engine is 17.
Monsieur Minier, who recently flew the channel at a cost of 2 bob in the tiny plane which he made himself, gives a special demonstration flight for movie turn at Lim. So let's look at the flea hopping about in the air. It's an astonishing machine. It costs £70 to build. It flies 60 miles an hour, has a radius of 187 miles, and best of all, does 50 miles to the gallon. If you want to fly high, you can go up to 6,000 feet. It seems to be the poor man's dream of flying come true. Amazing and amusing.
It's amazing. It's amazing and amusing. Then it goes directly to several people died.
Yeah. And can kill you.
Yeah. I'd love to know again. I mean, a lot of plane cost is in storage and stuff, isn't it? But like, how much would it cost you to just own a Harrier? Just pop it in your living room.
Yeah, I bet not that much, you know. I mean, 1,000, but not. You'd think it's a military airplane. It must cost hundreds of thousands. It's like, but nobody wants them.
No, it's probably 30, 40 grand.
I doubt if it's that much. I doubt if it's that. You know, I don't know. But
I mean, without the engine.
yeah.
You know, a stripped down one. It's all very cool in there as well. The big wooden aeroplane. It's fantastic. What a place. Operation Sandcastle.
Better have a quick look upstairs, isn't I?
Oh yeah, let's have a gander upstairs. What's in there? Oh, nice. Hello, darling. Wow.
Are you terribly worried? Don't be worried.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you're doing Morse code?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Right, let's go.
Are you saying something rude?
If you can work out what that is, let us know in the comments. This is a bit of a tricky one.
It's an old ejection seat.
Nice. Ah, I wouldn't fancy that.
No.
On Flight Simulator.
Like it. It's for learning your checks.
Yeah. Hello, yes. Can you get 2 pints of Foster's ready on the table, please? Thank you. Bye.
Remember I said about sitting on the dinghy? A plastic box.
Oh, that's what it is. That's
Yeah,
a
that's
dinghy.
a very old one. But that's, yeah. And then on that Velcro bit goes the sheepskin pad, which makes it comfy.
Oh, nice. Okay. And just in case you needed to know what that looks like. That's a large stream of coming out of him. Yes. We've all been there as well, haven't we? Oh, nice. Look at this picture here. Mark 3? Mark 2? Mark 3, obviously. And a nice little over 200 there. It's Mondeo. Love it. It'd be good if you could, like, from this bit here, you could, like, have
A zip line.
yeah, or parachute or something. You could
Yeah.
jump off.
That's true.
Very nice.
Like it.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Great place to come. And obviously what you can do while you're here as well is you can have a look around this place and then, like me and Wynne just have, go for a cup of tea and a sandwich and just watch the planes come to the airport. We didn't see any of that though, but it was a quiet day.
Yeah, there's one
One plane came in.
pleasure flight.
But it's nice just having a cup of tea and sort of being outside at an airport.
Liked it.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
Good cake.
What did you ever watch Top Gear when James May was like trying to light one of these? Good God, look at the size of that shoe!
What?
Bloody hell.
Why?
I don't know. You say about big shoes though, don't you?
The voluntary boot.
Right, welcome to Stacey Classics. We're going to see if we can get this running.
It's an Avro Anson propeller from the Irish Sea.
Crikey.
It's a bit second-hand, isn't it?
Looks like the start motor I took out the BMW.
Yeah.
Lots of parts, wreckage. Potentially slightly more sadder area of the sort of thing, isn't it? Oh, lots of models in here though. Very cool.
Oh, yeah.
First one to find a hawk. Is that one? No. That's one of the ones that we just saw. Is that one?
No. I guess they default to the fact... There,
Oh,
it is.
there you go.
Yeah.
Nice, okay.
I also... People look after this stuff, don't they? And it's like these guys curate it, and there's a lot of effort goes into these places.
It is, it's, you know, you've got to be grateful for, because, you know, with stuff like this, museums are so great for it all being in one place and so looked after, because if all of this was just separated across the world,
Yeah.
nobody'd ever see it.
You'd have one grandad going, "Oh, I got a piece of an ants," and you go, "That's nice."
So I think I do appreciate that a lot, really. Panad Squawkandar. Oh, she's from Liverpool. All of a sudden.
Yeah, I noticed
That's
that.
some nice biscuits.
All right.
Fantastic. Okay.
Right then.
Very good.